Hello, this is Del Denny of TBC, Action Coach of Indiana, and I want to welcome you to the Indiana Business Spotlight Series. The purpose of the series is to help promote Indiana businesses, because when small businesses succeed, well, we all succeed. And today I have a special guest. I have Drew on the Indiana Business Spotlight Series. Drew, welcome out.
Thank you.
Drew, before we get into business, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in a single parent family and was lucky enough to have some really important mentors in my life that really opened a lot of doors. So I felt very lucky, and took me into politics, got me into my first technology company. And since then, it's just been part of my life, really. Not only receiving, but also being on the giving back part of that, and it's really led to a very entrepreneurial life that's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Now you're with Counterpart. Can you tell us a little bit about your business? Like if you had to do a 60-second commercial about what you guys do, what would you say?
Yeah, so Counterpart, this will be our 28th year. We are a custom software development firm. We're about 20 people on purpose. We're able to really value and vet the relationships that we have with our clients. And even though we only get paid when we deliver software, we're really working as hard as we can in every aspect to make sure that their company is successful, whether that means vetting a new product and trying to go get what their target audience might be, whether it's introducing them to potential investors if they need a capital raise. It means bringing in their peer groups to help sell it within an internal larger organization. Whatever it is, we just kind of try to get involved because their success equals our success. So that might mean, this new little idea that's going to solve a problem, or maybe a new opportunity that they're able to seize. We build software basically to tackle those things. We kind of feel like I kind of compare us, to a carpenter. What can they do with that hammer? They can do all kinds of different things with that hammer. Our hammer is software. Same thing. We do it all across all kinds of industries and to do all kinds of different things.
That's awesome. And you brought up target audience. Who is your target audience or your target customer?
Yeah, that's I say that we are really agnostic from the standpoint of, like I said, that hammer. How many different things can you use on it? We have software that's running in emergency rooms that connects to an international network of interpreters, so that when a foreign-speaking patient comes in and needs to communicate with that doctor, we can facilitate that. We also have that same technology running in parking garages, that when you're at a gate and you got stuck, you get connected to an operations center that allows them to pop the gate and help you process the transaction and get you out of the way. So it's our target audience are people that see a need or an opportunity, are innovative and want to work collaboratively to solve it.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. Now, the Indiana Business Spotlight Series, it was kind of born out of the pandemic. During the pandemic, a lot of businesses, some folded, some paused, some pivoted. We wanted to bring more light to businesses during this time and shine light on Indiana businesses. During the pandemic, how did that affect your business?
We had, there was a lot of anxiety. I mean, everybody had it. We felt it, especially our team. There was just a lot of, didn't know what the next day was going to bring. We had clients that, ours are not cheap ticket items and projects to, invest in. So we had a lot of people holding on, saying, wait a minute, I need to see how this is going to play out before I go and invest $100,000 in software or $50,000. So we had a lot of that happen. But the interesting thing, and we had to deal with that, right? We had to be open and transparent and talk to our clients, let them know that this is all right. We'll still be here, when things get more favorable to what you're trying to accomplish. And then our employees, just making sure, hey, reassuring them we're not laying anybody off. We've got the cash flow to work through it. We're pursuing all these different. We're an open book kind of company. We talked about all the the SBA and government subsidies and opportunities, and we told them, let them all know what we were doing in order to just make sure that their jobs were safe. They just needed to focus. They work really well remotely, as you can imagine developers do, but just took as much of the anxiety out as possible. Now, the flip side of that is we had some clients that really thrived during this, and they saw new opportunities. We had one client that serves the K-12. As you can imagine, K-12 was hit really, really hard. They were able to find some opportunities that we were able to develop into their software platform that actually helped them. Basically, they had a few states in their portfolio. They more than tripled the number of states and that they were covering because of the opportunities that the software allowed. So it was kind of neat to see. You kind of got both, right? You got some people just the anxiety and just the unknown. Why would you spend, if you don't know, hold off. And that was great. We saw others that just really saw, hey, this may be new norm, which, is presented an opportunity and allowed them to grow. So it was interesting to be on both sides of that.
It is, isn't it? Like, it's amazing to see companies pivot and change and adapt. I love the entrepreneurial mindset that comes along with that. It's amazing what opportunities can happen when one door closes, another one opens. When with our Indiana Business Spotlight and us being a group of business coaches that talked with so many different businesses, we have a lot of business owners that watch this video, watch these interviews, and they say that smart people learn from their mistakes, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. What are some learning lessons that you've had from your mistakes that you might be able to share with other business owners?
I think, one thing, my first company, I was younger then as well, obviously, but I think I was 27 when I started it. I didn't realize the importance of being active and involved in the local community or wherever, whatever community you serve. There was like a disconnect for me. I didn't really put that what I was doing, really needed to be, we have a responsibility to be active in that community and awareness of what's going on. I think that that's a responsible corporate partner that I quickly learned. And so that's why it's a big aspect of our just culture here. The other thing that I always kind of live by is if I'm the smartest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room, right? I mean, I'm not learning. I think I mentioned earlier, mentors were really big for me. So it's big for me to mentor. I'm learning all kinds of things when I'm mentoring somebody else. So, it's not just a one-way conversation or learning opportunity. It really just opens your mind to all kinds of things. And I feel like those are pretty solid principles that I try to live by.
That's wonderful. I love it. Drew, where can we find more about Counterpart? If I have some software that needs to be developed, if I need some help with my business, where do I go?
Well, you can call me, or counterpart.biz is our website. It shows you, like I mentioned earlier, we don't focus on a specific industry, so there's all kinds of different kind of case studies that we've shown, just so you can see the kind of work. I know custom software is kind of an enigma for a lot of people to really understand, but literally, like, if there's not software out there that doesn't meet about 80% of your needs, then we should talk. From our standpoint, even if what your problem can be solved by an off-the-shelf or an existing platform, we're going to tell you that. We're not going to rebuild it, right? So, the conversation, we love to talk, and having those conversations and talking through it sometimes, can really help break it down, and maybe the problem isn't as complex or overwhelming as it may seem.
Oh, fantastic. Drew, we always like to end with this question and in some inspiration here. Drew, what inspires you the most today?
I I feel like, I mean, there's a lot of hope and things, just the whole mood of the country seems to be lifting and way more positive. Like I said, being involved in the community, the sense, especially here in Indiana, central Indiana, of course, especially the sense of community and how everybody wants to lift each other up and bond together to work is really like impressive to me. The innovation, the ideas that come out of those types of collaborations are just, they inspire me.
I'm right there with you. I love seeing the country unify as opposed to drifting apart from each other. So that's definitely a great thing. Well, Drew, thank you so much for coming on the Indiana Business Spotlight. We appreciate it. There's so many golden nuggets that you shared with us here today. So thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, this concludes our Indiana Business Spotlight interview. Thank you so much. And definitely check out Drew and Counterpart. Thank you so much.